Greetings! You're watching Septum Sen vs. the World. I'm Septum Sen, and I'm here with Kotobuki Jake. We are celebrating the season, of course, as we always do. Well, I mean, this is our first year doing the channel, so probably not always, but hopefully always, as we celebrate our lovely tree, agent tree here. And we talk about the lovely deals. We've had some interesting things. Black Friday brought us a lot of cool stuff. I'm going to be doing an entire
some pain in the pocketbook.
I've got an entire Black Friday haul right here from my 5.
I've barely touched mine so far, but we'll see.
And well, it's not the entirety, but it's there. And I've been to Walmart. I've looked at Best Buy. I've looked at Target. A couple things coming from those areas, mainly trying to complete series because it's the time to get it. Then, of course, Cyber Monday is today, and we're working on that as well.
There's some good stuff on Right Stuff today, but luckily most of the good deals are good deals. Relatively little's earth-shattering.
So I'm not terribly worried about the whole. We've got, like I said, Right Stuff is doing their 30 days of Christmas this year. And
30 days.
That's what they said, 30 days on their thing. So, you know, every day we'll get to see something new. And I'll see if there's anything worthwhile. Most of it's similar to the Black Friday sale. I'm not going to overindulge in anything unless it's, like, spectacular. I feel like I've spent myself out this season. But you never know. You never know what they're going to do.
Right.
A couple other places doing minor sales, but really most of them burn themselves out movie-wise on Black Friday. But keep your eyes out. Sometimes things move in. I mean, My Hero Academia went on sale. It's on the Right Stuff sale, but it also was a couple dollars cheaper on Amazon, but that didn't last very long. Yeah. It was $30. I mean, a Funimation like half season for $30 is kind of
like one of the Cyber Monday deals on Right Stuff, which I was so tempted by, because it is a good price, but it's not an earth-shattering price. They had that limited edition set of Death Parade that I talked about for $40.
That's not bad.
Which is not bad, but it's not earth-shattering. Just like they have set 7 of Fairy Tail for $25, which $25 is my limit. I do not pay over $25 per collection, so I'm very tempted to get that, but I don't have 5 and 6, so that cuts down slightly on the temptation. But anyway, so I guess we'll get into that in a minute.
Yeah, I mean, the only things else is, I mean, right now,
Thanksgiving. Everyone had fun on Thanksgiving, right?
Yeah, hopefully it was a good Thanksgiving. I mean, I had a lot of turkey, and we're going to have a nice little Thanksgiving feast after this whole deal. Otherwise, I've managed to bribe Santa Claus into doing some review work for me this particular season. If those of you who follow the channel have probably seen the advert, he's going to come. He's going to broadcast from around the North Pole, and he's going to do some reviews of some movies for me while I take a much-needed break from reviewing. We do have some upcoming reviews, though. 9 Lives of Fritz the Cat and Camp Blood 7. So that one actually, I finally have caught back up to my reviews. So I have the entire ones on the playlist. It's going to come out later this week, so you'll be able to see all the reviews at once if you want. Several people have been curious about this one. To me, it looked better than the previous ones, and I'm actually sensing a positive shift. But that's pretty much it. I'm still trying to get through Freddy's Nightmares, and it's a slog.
I actually had a crap load of viewing this week. I think on our last one I did mention my viewing of Thor Ragnarok. I have managed to follow if I did not, it was awesome. But I have actually managed to follow it up with 5 more films from last year. And they cover a wide range. A couple of them were quite good, and a couple of them not so much. But the ones that were not so much, it was on par with what I expected. I did get to go see Justice League. Have you seen that one yet?
Not yet.
Okay. Better than I expected? No, actually, let's say, what was I going to say? Yes, better than I expected. Not as bad as I feared. But not as good as I hoped. Well. It's definitely worth watching compared to last year's releases, Suicide Squad, Batman v Superman. I found Batman v Superman on Blu-ray Black Friday for $4, and I put it back because I didn't know that it would be worth it. Suicide Squad was $6. I put it back because I didn't know if it'd be worth it. I may regret that, but But Justice League has its moments, but it's nowhere near as good as Wonder Woman, and let's just hope they kind of get back on course for the next ones.
Yeah. Next Superman movie's coming out, I guess. And Justice League did make up a lot of its losses overseas.
Yeah.
It's actually doing better than Thor internationally.
See, that's the problem, though. It's making so much money, the studio doesn't realize how desperately they need to fix it. But anyway, speaking of disappointments, I also finally got to see The Dark Tower.
I've got it. I just haven't bothered to.
It lives up to its reputation.
Well.
Although I will say Matthew McConaughey is great as the Man in Black.
How did Idris Elba do?
He did fine. He still is nowhere close to my visualization of Roland. And there is a very specific in-canon change that is... You probably really have to care about the books to notice. But he does have all the fingers on both hands. They don't really explain how that changed.
Well, technically, the scene he lost them in was the second book, so theoretically it never happened.
But that's the thing; they don't fully explain what never happened and what did happen, and that's.
Well, they're rebooting it.
Yeah,
so they've looked at this and said, "Okay, this ain't working. We're going to reboot it as a TV series, and then we'll see how it goes from there."
So that was one of the biggest flaws, is they didn't really... But I watched it with someone who's never read the books and doesn't know the books, and she said that it held together on its own as a movie. So for the casual fan, it's a decent movie. Speaking of decent movies, I also saw the new Pirates of the Caribbean, Dead Man Tell No Tales. It's a lot goofier than the other movies. It's a lot sillier.
It's a Jack Sparrow movie, if I recall correctly. So
yes. It's actually not bad. It's a lot of fun, which is a lot better than the second and third ones. They were not very fun.
So it's a lot like the fourth one?
Yes. And a lot of people didn't like the fourth one, but the fourth and fifth ones they're more goofy, they're more lighthearted. There's a lot of seriousness in there. And the biggest issue in the fifth one, I won't say who, but there's a major character who dies in a very over-the-top manner. And it's like, he was in that scene? What? Yeah. Where'd he come from? It's like, they really should have played that better. But anyway, overall, it was interesting. It was worth a watch.
And we'll come back again in the next one.
And the two really good ones were both based on actual stories. They're both going from the realm of fantasy into the... I saw Megan Levy, which is about the Marine who is a dog handler. She worked with a bomb-sniffing unit in Iraq. And the movie kind of is part her journey of self-discovery and part her bonding with her dog Rex. And she's played by Kate Mara. And Mara does a very good job. And one of the guys who's her mentor, I was like, God, that guy looks familiar. And it didn't click in my brain. And then at the end, I saw the end credits. It said Tom Felton. I was like, holy crap, that was Draco Malfoy? He grown up. And then the other one, and that one was really good. It was actually it was a lot better than I expected it to be. It was a lot less depressing than I was led to believe it would be. And then the other one I saw last night is a new film directed by Michael Showalter and produced by Judd Apatow. And if you're familiar with either of them, you have a rough idea of the humor involved. But it was a very serious dramedy called The Big Sick, about Kumail Nanjiani, a stand-up comic, and the real-life story of his meeting and becoming involved with and ultimately marrying this woman, Emily Gordon. And the movie is co-written by the two of them, but whereas he plays himself, Emily is played by Zoe Kazan, who is a very fine actress, very talented, and absolutely loved Ruby Sparks. That was one of my favorite movies she's done. And she was really good. Her parents are played by Holly Hunter and Ray Romano, and it was interesting seeing Romano in a more dramatic kind of role. Yeah. And his parents, I don't know who plays the mother, but his father is played by Anupam Kher, a very, very talented and underrated actor. And I can't help but be insulted for him that he never gets star billing, even though he's in a lot of high-profile movies. But anyway, so that was that. Not 5 of this year's releases. I got a lot in and some variety there. A few more episodes of Friends. That was it, basically, for the viewing, I guess.
See, mine's like 90% Freddy's Nightmares. It's just every episode's an hour long, and there's 40 episodes, so it's like just one day you will get a review in January. Because that's when I will finish, probably. Mm-hmm. I did get to see Mother Krampus, which was cool. And actually was a surprise. I thought it was going to be as cheesy as like 90% of the Krampus movies were. But it was actually closer to the lines of the one they released not long ago. When was that? When they did that big Krampus movie? Was that last year or the year before?
I want to say it was 2 years ago, but you would know that better now.
So, yeah. I can't remember whether it was 1 or 2 years ago. I know I did my big Krampus review fest there, but I tossed that one over to Santa. He's going to do that as one of the reviews. He's working for Cookies, so you can't beat that.
Yeah.
So I got a hold of Red Eye Cookie Company, and we're doing a deal with him so that he can get some Red Eye cookies, and then he gets and does some reviews for me.
Sounds good.
So I guess I'll go ahead and start us off. One of my Black Friday things I got from Walmart, but actually not Walmart. This one was from, I want to say Amazon, because Amazon offered this for $10, which is Big Bang Theory season 10.
Best Buy's price was better.
Yeah, well, it's close. They're all close. I'm not really too worried about it. As long as I get it for 10 or less, I'm good. I've seen the first 7 seasons. I've seen part of season 8. I really am behind, and I need to get back up with this. But again, I enjoy the series. It's up and down for me as to whether I consider it insulting or not, especially considering as the main characters actually are as un-nerd-like as possible. I mean, even the guy who plays Sheldon doesn't actually understand nerd culture that much. So it's kind of, I don't know, there's a little bit of an insult to that. But at the same time, I don't know, I can still relate to this series.
Yeah.
So, enjoyable. It's kind of fun. And I'm sure that it's going to eventually collapse under the weight of the salaries of the cast in the near future.
Yeah.
But they've already been signed up for 2 more seasons. So I think there's, because IMDb has it all the way up to 12. So, it'll be a little while.
Or some scandal will come along.
Yeah, scandal will derail it.
Yeah, but that series, they had volumes 8, 9, and 10 at Best Buy for $9.
Oh.
And
like
all 3
together?
of them, well, each.
Okay.
If they were together, I would have got it. No question. I did something insane this year, but it turned out to not be that insane, and it was weird. We actually watched Dark Tower Thursday evening, and then afterwards went ahead and went out and did some shopping. I've never done that on Thanksgiving before, but I hit Best Buy, Kohl's, and Walmart, and they were busy, but
if you get there after the initial opening, once they've gotten those big doorbusters, once the TVs are gone, the crowds are gone.
But yeah, I think I seriously, I think that so many people do online stuff now. It's like it's a whole different creature from how it used to be.
They're only there for the TVs. That's really what 90% of people. They're there for the giant TVs.
I was there for DVDs and Blu-rays,
and nobody's there for DVDs and Blu-rays. So
no, some were because I tell you there were a lot of gaps on the shelves. But Best Buy. I'll be doing a lot of my Best Buy stuff starting from next week. But they did, and I did bring one tonight. But I used a lot of willpower to put a lot of things back. And Big Bang Theory hardly even registered because I already had a stack like this.
Yeah.
But still, I have up through 7. So 8, 9, 10 for $10 or $9 each would have been a great get.
That's like one season of a Funimation show.
But the thing is, he was talking about getting series. Last night I was on Amazon, and I found out that a lot of the series I'm getting had deals going on.
Yeah.
So I handed the list to my family of, this is, but I held off. I did not do them. But Best Buy and Walmart had nothing good going on. But they had some totally out of left field ones. And the one I'm going to kick myself for, another $10 one, they had the first season of True Detective on Blu-ray. I'm going to kick myself for not getting that.
You have like one of the later seasons.
No, I don't have any True Detective, but I want to. But I think Idris Elba stars in the new upcoming one. But anyway, the one that I got from Walmart, I used some willpower at Walmart. I only got one thing, and I could not pass this up.
I spent like $30 at Walmart.
They had a number of bundles. I don't know. Maybe you saw some of these.
Oh yeah, I did.
They had a number of bundles for $10 of movies. Yeah, and I found one bundle that happened to have 4 Blu-ray movies that were all ones I need to get. Other than that, they have very little in common. It's labeled a drama pack.
Oh, they're all dramas?
But other than that, they have relatively little in common, except that they're all inspired by true stories, which is kind of fun too. But 2 of them are directed by Clint Eastwood. One is American Sniper.
Oscar winner.
Yes. And the other is Jersey Boys.
Not an Oscar winner.
Jersey Boys is about the creation, the rise of the group Frankie Valli and the Four Seasons. I have not seen the movie. I've heard good things about it. It is one of Eastwood's less acclaimed recent films, but it got good buzz. And his movies, he is a very talented director.
Yeah.
He has a very good reputation as a director, not just because he's talented, because he knows how to direct, he knows how to act. He knows how to make a movie on time and on budget. So studios love him. And Jersey Boys, I believe, was one that it was kind of like a labor of love sort of thing for him. It also has Christopher Walken, and anything with Christopher Walken automatically deserves some consideration, except for a certain piece of crap movies he's been in, but it's always interesting. Now, American Sniper was about the true story of an American serviceman named Chris Kyle, who is supposedly the deadliest sniper in American history.
He got killed on a gun range.
Yes. He made it through the war and died later. The book based on his experiences is a very, very, very popular book.
Yeah.
The film was very popular. It made a lot of bank at the box office. It got a lot of Oscar nominations. I think it won 1, maybe 2 awards. I was not blown away by it, but I liked it.
Yeah.
I did not think Bradley Cooper deserved 3 Oscar nods in a row, but he did a good job. The other 2...
Still have yet to see it.
The other 2 are both 2015 releases that just missed my top 40 for that year. But in fairness, I've seen well over 100 films from that year. They were both films I got to see in theaters while I was working in the theater. In the Heart of the Sea is a Chris Hemsworth film that is loosely based on a true story. Basically, it is based on a story relayed to Herman Melville by a supposed survivor of one of the major maritime disasters. And it's a pretty interesting film. It was and it's a Ron Howard film.
Oh, wow.
So it's a good movie. It's very well done. It's not extraordinary, but I enjoyed watching it, and I'm glad to get it. And then the last one...
Oh, no spoilers on that one for me. I haven't seen it
This
yet.
one?
Yeah.
This one is based on the rise and fall of the gangster known as Whitey Bulger. And it's called Black Mass. And Johnny Depp got tons of buzz for this role.
But no Oscar love.
He didn't end up getting any Oscar love. I think he got a Golden Globe nod. He does a great job. He is flat out frightening as Bulger. He did a Bulger, however you say it.
Oh.
It's really well done. It's got a very interesting cast. Joel Egerton, Benedict Cumberbatch, Rory Cochrane, Kevin Bacon, Julianne Nicholson. It's a really good cast. The film has tons of language. So be aware of that if that's something that bothers you. But otherwise, it is a very good gangster pick. And it's apparently the real Bulger hated this film. Hated the fact that, I don't think he got to see it, but he hated the idea of it. And he refused to cooperate. But it should be, it's well worth a look. And, so all of these 4 movies on Blu-ray, all of them good reputation, or at least good movies. One of them an Oscar, 2 of them I think, no, one of them Oscar nominee for $10. Not bad. So that was my one Walmart Black Friday thing. Yeah.
Well, see, now, one good thing about the Walmart Black Friday is they tend to extend what's left of the weekend.
Until it's gone, they've got it.
So, I mean, I went the day after Black Friday. I was already out. I'd been sent out. Well, actually, no, I'd been coming home from work. And I work close to one when I do my weekend
you got
work.
That one.
So I went ahead and I found this, and it wasn't too bad a price. I think it was like $7.98, which isn't terrible for a semi-new movie. I mean, it just came out this year.
It's about what Best Buy was charging for that.
So, I've been curious about it. I've heard that it has its own set of issues, much like Killing Joke did. Plus, they had a different voice actress doing Harley that wasn't quite...
Did you say the title? Did you say the title?
Oh, this is Batman and Harley Quinn, which, I don't know. It's, I've been curious about it. Like I say, some similar issues. I mean, like where she has a scene with Nightwing.
It was a lot tamer than I was led to expect, though.
Well, I mean, Fade to Black is.
People were saying 50 Shades of Grey. It's more like 39 Shades of Grey.
So I'm curious. I haven't seen it, so I know you did, and you talked about it in one of your previous. It was. It's one.
It was interesting, but it was disappointing.
DC animated is always a well-liked thing to me. They do a good job with most of their stuff. So, well worth
And one of the things, I was very tempted to get a bunch of their stuff. Best Buy had Justice League Doom for $4 on Blu-ray. I was so tempted. That one was like $8. The one that I nearly got, that I mentioned to my family as a potential Christmas present, Walmart did have a Blu-ray copy of Justice League Dark, and I'm very interested in that one. But I ended up holding off on those. But instead, well, I'll get to my other Best Buy one in a minute. I've got to work through my last Sentai purchase because there was so much of it. So I brought one of them this week to go along with. This is one I've been wanting for a while and I held off on. We've already mentioned before that I paid a good amount more than I could have because they dropped the prices significantly after I placed my purchase. But this cost me $13, and right now it's on sale for $10. But it's a series called Kurenai. And I don't know much about this, but it's a show I've been wanting for a long time because it looks pretty good. It's been on sale frequently, but I never got around to it. 13 was cheaper than I ever had seen it. 10 is cheaper than 13, but what are you going to do? But it's a 12-episode series. It's a reasonably well-regarded series. And if I remember correctly, it has a decent cast. So yeah, I'm very much happy to finally have that. And like I said, I'll be slowly working through that stack of Sentai. But for those of you who are interested, I think they are still doing that sale where everything's dirt cheap.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, give it a look.
Monday, so yeah.
Yep.
So I have again from Amazon's Black Friday sale. I have got Arrow Season 5, and again
Nice.
$10, not terribly
That
bad.
was 10?
Yes. I had to look around to make sure I got all the ones because no one place offered them for 10 each. So I went ahead and I got this one, and I've seen the first 4 seasons, and this is my last of the seasons. So so far, so I'm caught up. I like the series so far. Fun action series. It's a little bit more comic booky as it goes on, which is a bad thing for many people. To me, it's actually a good thing. I like it when it gets more comic booky because that's what I liked. I like the comics. Many people
Arrow comics
liked it.
are fun.
Many people liked it when he was a lot darker and killing people and stuff. I think that it's actually better at this point. But we'll see. I'm interested in seeing it as I keep going.
See, when I was looking them up yesterday, I found seasons 1 and 3 for $10, but 5 wasn't. But it was really weird because 1 and 3 were $10, but 2 was $25. And I was like, what sense does that make? But I still need to get Arrow. It was on my list for this year, and again, when I found them for 10, I put that on my list. But it's if I get the ones I asked for, it'll be 1 and 3. But we'll see. But back to what I did. This is the one Best Buy that I brought, and okay, one of the reasons I went out in the first place is because every year some of these companies will put out like their advance flyers. They're kind of like, they give people a feel for what the doorbusters are going to be, but they also just kind of throw in a few extra things. And Best Buy's flyer had just, I think, one little blurb about DVDs and Blu-rays, but they had 4 titles on there. And War for the Planet of the Apes, I'm not going to get because I don't have the series yet, and I kind of want to get that set that has all the movies. So I wasn't interested in that one. The other 3 were all on my list. I really wanted all 3 of them. And it was listing them at $8 each on Blu-ray. So I was like, hell yeah, I'm going to get them. So I walk in the door at like 8:30, 9 o'clock on Thursday night. And right there in their front display, I found a Blu-ray copy of one of the 3. And the other 2 were gone. Already. But later on, back in the stacks, back in the I found the other 2. So I was like temporarily worried. But I found a lot of what I was looking for, but not everything. But some things jumped out at me that I wasn't looking for. And one of the nicest surprises of the night, I kind of wanted the steel box edition of this, but that's boat probably sailed ages ago. But one of the best American shows ever. And he annoyed the hell out of me when he got it by not telling me about the deal he got. What, 3 years ago? But I finally managed to match the price, I think, if I remember correctly. But it's only the first half. You have both parts. But a famed HBO series, I now have season 1 of Band of Brothers. $10 on Blu-ray. $10. And it is, if you've never seen the show, it's awesome.
Yay!
It is one of the best war programs out there. It's a 10-episode series. I'm not convinced every episode is the same length. I could be wrong about that, but I felt like there was some variety there. But it co-stars Damian Lewis and features an interesting supporting cast. David Schwimmer shows up a couple times. Jimmy Fallon shows up in a couple episodes. But for the most part, it's lesser-known names. But like I said, Damian Lewis is kind of right front and center. This was before Homeland, before, The Night Manager, like the stuff that's come along. Maybe it's Night Manager. What's the other one? whatever. He's become a bigger name since then.
Yeah.
But this is like I said, it's an American classic series. Finally got it, and it only cost $10. So I was like, "Hails yeah!" So that was one of my most exciting finds of the night.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I felt like my $20 for the Steelbook.
Yeah.
Still, great deal for that when it was at the time.
I thought you got it for 10.
Well, it was. Oh
Wasn't
yeah, it was
wasn't it
$20
20 for both?
It was $20, but they were offering a 50% off.
Okay, because
Of like some limited purchases, and that was a great Costco deal for me.
Yeah.
Because I said like you can get some limited purchases with the little coupon book that they send for 50% off of DVDs, and I said, "Ooh, look, Band of Brothers, $20, $10 now."
This is another one of those weird things where like our viewings are like polar opposite. Because I believe you've seen the second series, the
Yeah, I've
Pacific,
seen the Pacific.
and I've seen Band of Brothers, but I've not seen Pacific.
I don't know why. I actually saw it as it came out, and it was kind of weird.
Yeah.
But I got another one from this one from Amazon. It was ridiculously cheap. It was like $6, and I am a completionist.
Mm-hmm.
So I went ahead and I got Alien Covenant. I know it's not going to be good. I've heard it's not good. But I didn't mind Alien Resurrection, and people said that wasn't good. So, and Prometheus, people said it was meh. So, if I enjoyed those, I'll probably enjoy this. I'm an Aliens person. I like them. It is the first one that I have. Wait, no, Prometheus is also on Blu-ray, so this kind of goes along with that. But it's kind of, like I said, more of a completion. It was $6. It wasn't too bad on Amazon. And that's all I have to say about that.
I was one of the ones that was like, meh, on Prometheus. But then I'm not an Aliens fan. I've always hated the second movie, Aliens.
Go Aliens!
Everyone says it's a classic. I've always hated it. But anyway, my next one,
Good one.
one I've been wanting for years. Ever since way back in the day when we used to actually watch
gotta show
stuff
off.
with our game group. What's that?
I gotta show off on
Okay, yeah, he's got to show off here. Because he has better sets, but I have Blu-ray and I paid a whole lot less. Yeah, no, not anymore.
Not anymore, it's gone, it's dead. I killed it.
Okay, but back when we frequently met with our gaming group and watched stuff, we watched a show that is one of the few anime still that I've seen extensive anime in the English but not in the Japanese. But there's a show, I absolutely loved it. And this marks my first official entry in my collection of an Aniplex America release. And it is the show Da-da-da-da, Da-da-da-da, Da-da-da. However you want to say it. It's supposed to sound like a revving motor, but it's like it's one of those
whatever.
yeah. But anyway, the show basically, this is his release. He has the 3-part release on DVD. I think it cost $105. Is that it?
Something like that. It was when it was on sale.
This is far and away the cheapest I've ever seen this. I paid $85 for the full series on Blu-ray, and that's $20 to $25 less than I've ever. Well,
no, in all fairness,
15 to 20. Well, yeah, this will be out of print in just a couple of years. It's Aniplex.
Yeah.
But anyway, this set is not that great. It's basically a slipcover, not even a chipboard box. And it does have nice sturdy Blu-ray cases in it.
Yeah.
It's just, you would think they would at least do a chipboard box or something like that. But the show is a lot of fun. It's set in the district of Ikebukuro, and it basically is about a whole bunch of misfits, delinquents, borderline criminals.
Oh, yeah.
The main character, arguably, is Celty, who's a courier who rides a motorbike and wears a weird cat-eared helmet. And when she removes the helmet, no head. She's basically a Dullahan, which is basically the same creature that the Headless Horseman is. but she's got a much better sense of humor than that Headless Horseman. You've got, I don't remember the name of the bartender offhand, who's like freakishly strong, and his mortal enemy is Isaiah. And one of the running jokes in the series is him just screaming, Isaiah!
In all fairness, Isaiah is a prick.
He is. Isaiah is a piece of work. And one of my favorite characters is a Russian named Simon who runs a sushi restaurant. He's a Russian black dude who Russian sushi. And some of the things they talk about being on their menu make you go, ugh.
Well, now they do have Kill La Kill actually at the same price it was last year when I got it, which was 20. Well, if you get into DVD, 20 a volume.
Some of the stuff right now is decently priced. Like you said, some of these DVD ones, and I noticed Yuki Una as a Hero is a Pony Can release. They've got the limited edition sets for $54,
Ain't bad,
which
really.
is a lot less than they were. But still, it's what, 3 or 4 sets?
It's a lot of sets.
So it's at least 3 sets. So you're still paying $160 for a 13 episode series. Yuki Una is a Hero is supposed to be great. I really want to see it.
They get all these really good series and then make you purchase them for like absurd amounts of money.
Yeah, that again is Pony
Madoka
Cannon.
Magica is one of the best examples of that.
And Puella's one, God, I want that series, but I'm waiting to get the
Actually,
there was an announcement for a full release, but I don't think I've seen it yet.
Oh, if you mean the second series?
No, the first series, Puella.
Oh, yeah, and they've I know that some Puellas on the sale, so that's
But I now finally have an Aniplex, and I finally have a series I really wanted. But again, there's a second series to this.
That's
God
in like
knows when
6
that's
parts
going.
and about $50 a part.
Yeah.
So
It may be another 5 or 6 years before that gets completed.
I should hope not. So my last one, and I was very much debating on this, but then it was like $1.98, or no, it was the $3. It was $3, so it's $4 basically with the tax. And I like Rob Zombie horror. You probably do not like Rob Zombie horror because it's very gory. And I've decided, hey, why don't I get 31?
Why not?
I mean, it's a killer clown one. And, you know, he's good with the slasher genre. I really like the Halloween movies that he did, even the second one that most people hate. I always thought that Rob Zombie had a flair for the old 70s style slashers. I mean, when you're looking at the Herschel Gordon-Levitt of this time, and that to me is, well, worth it. I don't have quite the quality that this one has on his particular week, but especially with the last one I see coming up.
Yeah.
But still, you know, this actually helps continue my my Rob Zombie collection. I think that puts me at all of them that he's released so far. So I look forward to it.
Okay. Now this one technically is a Black Friday sale from Best Buy, but they actually put a few things on sale a week before Black Friday, and they just continue the sale. A few of the things they actually put a better Black Friday price, but they had a pre-Black Friday. Like there was a Dragon Ball Z bundle of the 2 movies that I almost got. I was so tempted. I didn't. They had the 2 new movies on Blu-ray for $25. It was very tempting. But I got a few things in that pre-sale, and again, some of them will be coming up soon. But this was one of the reasons why I went there, because I had seen the online announcement.
Damn.
And this is a get. This is one I've been after for... Huh?
Okay, you go ahead.
Yeah. But this is one I've been wanting for a long time. It's another HBO series, and it's one that has been well out of my budget for a long time. I've seen exactly 1 episode, but I loved it, and I've wanted the show. I finally got The Sopranos, the complete series.
Oh, that's coveted right there.
And it's a
What was
Blu-ray
it?
set. It's the entire series on Blu-ray in this big, massive box. You're talking about something you could brain someone with. This is like...
Okay, well, what did you get it for? What
It was
it?
on sale for $50.
Oh, still on sale. Rush to Best Buy.
Yeah, it might be. It was Black
I just
Friday
checked
evening.
their site.
Yeah?
It's still for Cyber
Yeah.
Monday.
So yeah, if you...
I might actually be on there.
Yeah, this is, again, very popular series. Very highly regarded in its day.
Yeah.
There was some controversy over the ending, but, you know, it's... Definitely, it's 86 episodes. What was it? Was it 5 seasons?
Oh, no,
7 seasons?
But it's worthwhile.
But yeah, it is 6 seasons. I jumped on both sides of it. Of course, James Gandolfini, the late great James Gandolfini as Tony Soprano. And it had a very interesting supporting cast. Edie Falco was one of the main characters. Steve Buscemi had a supporting role for about 2 seasons. There were a lot of people probably showed up once or twice. As I've said before, from what I've seen, HBO programs tend to be a very high level of quality relative to television in general. The one episode I've seen, I don't even know what season it was back when I was in college and someone wanted to watch it, and I sat down and I was like, this is pretty good.
Yeah.
And I just never got around to it, partly because it's so damn pricey. But, like I said, $50 on Blu-ray is pretty good. Yeah.
It's on Amazon right now for $86.
And I think Walmart has this in DVD for about $60 or $70. So that's actually not a bad price either. And the show's old enough that it may or may not be important that I got it on Blu-ray. But I have a feeling it'll still look good.
It's an HBO series. It should be good.
Yeah. So, big get for the week, I think.
So that rounds us up. That is some impressive Black Friday shopping right there. I gotta hand it to you. You got
all my cheap ones will be next week.
Yeah, see, this is my cheap run right here, but still not too bad.
Right.
But in any case, I wish you all the best. And of course, with the start of the holiday season, we will be in December. You'll see a couple of those little doors behind you on the advent calendar open next time we meet.
Yeah.
And of course, like our channel and subscribe to our channel. We enjoy all of you who subscribed, and for those of you who came from some other channels earlier on, I really appreciate the subscribe and the watch. And of course, I will always be willing to give any shout outs for any requesting of that, and feel free to do that below. But share, and let's keep our numbers climbing a little bit. Actually, my Thanksgiving video last week was very good. I mean, I got we got some decent views.
Oh, good deal.
So we're hoping to keep moving forward.
All right.
So I will see you
Have a good
on
one.
the next one.